Forget everything you've been told. The biggest revolution happening in business right now isn't the death of a role, it's the role's rebirth. We're going to break down how middle managers are transforming from paper pushers into the new power brokers of the AI era. Now, this isn't a survival guide, it's a playbook for what could be classified as corporate takeover. So let's get into it. Welcome to Convergence. I'm Lauren Hawker-Zaffer from Zurich.
Faisal Haq from Connecticut. If you go beyond C-suite, middle management starts right there. Depending on the size and the shape of the organization, you may have middle management. And you usually have like some C-suite, chief operating officer like yourself. Then you may have VP, you may have senior VP, director, and then you go all the way to group leader, right? So depending on the size and shape of the organization, you may have 3 layers, you may have 1 layer, you may have no layer. But I think the roles and the responsibilities stays the same, but it gets elongated or it gets shortened. What technology has done, and increasingly has been doing, it's not just with AI, it started with automation and other things. Certain decision augmented or enabled by providing you the best set of data, a faster turnaround, right? And with AI, it's gotten to the next level of efficiency in terms of data collection and data dissection and data analysis, and able to get the right support to make your decision. That means that it can free up a great deal of your time to do other things. So the question is, where do you want to focus that time and energy for the betterment of your organization?
100%. But I'm going to park that thought 1 second because I'm going back to what you said about the NVIDIA CEO. I also had that in my head when we were talking at the start. I watched an interview very recently with the Revolut CEO, and he also had expressed that he has like about also 35 direct reports. Now, I questioned, is this a strategical choice in terms of leadership where a CEO decides that middle management per se is not necessarily necessary? So that's one part of the equation. And if that is a choice, a strategic choice, that middle management is not necessary, is that something that evolves with the size of an organization? So is there then the progression that the larger an organization becomes, there could be this organic necessity for middle management? Again, is it a strategic choice? Is it an organic evolution? Now, one thing that contributes to is, and maybe you've seen this as well with the NVIDIA CEO, I don't know if it's 1-for-1 comparison, but the Revolut CEO was also talking about the performance culture that's created without the layer of middle management, in the sense that strategic approach to hire in terms of looking for great talent, not adequate or subpar talent, there's not necessarily this requirement for middle management. What's your thoughts on that?
I've been part of large organizations my entire career, and I've seen anything from GE to MasterCard to my defense contracting partner, CSEI. They're a fairly large organization. They're not, what I know from being part of these large organizations and working with and having them as customer, you can only tackle so much as a leader, right? And you have to give the autonomy for other people to make the best decision possible. And that's how they shine, right? It doesn't mean that you can't talk to an engineer, or you cannot talk to a salesperson, or you cannot talk to a program director that's working in a particular program. As a matter of fact, you should do that, because that's how you're going to get the ground knowledge, right?
But then do you think that that's a question of hiring strategies and policies and finding the right talent where there's not a necessity for 30 individuals to knock on your door?
Yeah, so that's what I'm saying. So let's say 30 people report to you. They got to talk to you at least once a month, right? How do you know what's going on, right? So if you do it once a month, and then what happens? So you got 30 days covered, right? So it's not beating down your door, but it's also the amount of time you have to spend on decision cycle, unless you're just rubber stamping whatever your talented managers are telling you, and that may be okay. I think this is the heart of organizational culture, right? So the way you align your organization and the way you motivate and inspire your organization is when people have common understanding of the goal and the aspiration, and how does those goals and aspiration ties to your teams, whatever that you're trying to execute. right? So if there isn't a common understanding of that, the problem begins there. But if you do have that common understanding and the senior team, let's say C-suite, do believe in the team and they believe that the team will make the best decision, that's where the middle management can shine. If the middle management adopts a mantra or they're forced to adopt a mantra, I said so, therefore you should, then it kind of fails because you're not really leveraging the talent,
Exactly.
the know-how those people are bringing to the table. Because when somebody is a middleman, a team that's focused on, let's say, a particular area of operation or development or market penetration or whatever the case may be, they know that area the best. So you have to trust that they're bringing the best set of data or decision forward to move the organization ahead because, their success is tied to your overall organizational success.
100%. So don't forget to subscribe on the channel of your choice, be it Spotify, YouTube. There's more exciting conversations to come. Thank you.